I've been helping my friend with his 2013 Subaru WRX. I'd posted pictures before because he had a misfire for a while. This was the second engine that was put in this car at 46,000 miles, and then the first one was put in at like 22,000 miles, and that one seized on him. And then we pulled this one out because it had a bad misfire, and we found out one of the valves was leaking really bad. And when we pulled it out, we found out that all the valves were leaking on every cylinder. And he had just put this back in, I think 2 days ago, and I was here helping him last night, and I couldn't communicate with the car, and at the DLC port there was only 2 volts. And it was a bad ground, not a bad ground, but the ground wire wasn't tight right here in the back of the cylinder head. That one right there. And that fed the PCM, well, fed the harness over here. That fed the PCM for the sensor and chassis ground, I believe. Because the chassis ground at the DLC only had 2 volts, but if I grounded directly to the car's body, it was fine. So I did that, and then last night when he was trying to start it, you could actually feel air coming back out the intake. So I'm pretty sure it has like the cam timing off, which I don't know if it jumped at some point during the install, because I set the timing and it was dead on. Now I'll show you what happens to the waveform here. I got a pulse sensor hooked up to the intake. That's the yellow trace. The green is ignition coil, like it's the shared I think power feed, and then the blue is a relative compression. Now I'll show you what happens. I'll post these up online then. Let's see, did I miss it? There we go. Pretty sure the cam timing's off, and I can't find a known good for this car, so I had him, just in case something was off, I had to make sure that the radiator was not put in, so in that way we could double check it. So I'm just gonna pop these covers off since I don't have a known good cam crank, and I will post one later of a known good cam and crank, because I searched IATN. I think the only ones that I could find was for 2008, and I'm not sure if 2008 had cam phasers. So I'll pull this off and we'll be back. I just took the covers off, and this is kind of odd. How are the timing marks lined up exactly? Without me, look at that, they're lined up exactly with me cranking the motor. I'm wondering if the cams aren't even turning. This could be exciting, because I doubt very much that it stopped at exactly the timing marks. You leave that. I'm gonna get a ratchet. I'm gonna try to turn this by hand and see what happens. I have this set up here. I'm gonna go hit the key. It might be turning because you see the paint mark here. I drew the paint marks over top of the gears with the marking, so it might be turning. So I'm gonna go hit the key real quick, see what happens. So I pulled the cover off. Timing's dead on. You can see there's a little indent right there where the timing mark lines up with. Keyway is supposed to be pointing straight down, which it is. These cams are lined up. That one's lined up. All the marks are dead on. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this one over here or not. Okay, that one's probably a little tough, but it's dead on. So, I guess I'll try to see if I can get maybe a micro piercing probe in these cam crank signals. Because normal probes, like, you can't probe the back of them. It's like a hard plastic. I guess I'll do that, and then maybe I'll show you what the injector pulse or whatever you want to call it looks like. It's like it's not even taking it to ground. It'll drop from like 12 volts to 10 volts. So that's why I thought maybe timing was off. Can't find anything in repair information on how Subaru controls the injectors. So I'll be back. I got out my micro piercing probes. I don't know if you guys ever used these from AES Wave. But these things are deadly sharp. Right there. Now, I probed to sense the cam sensors on both sides. It's hard to see, but there's not really much room to get down there. So either these probes aren't long enough, or neither cam sensor is working. The blue and red are the cam sensors, green's the crank, and yellow is the injector. Right there. So, guess I'll have to see if I can get power and ground on one of the cam sensors. It seems like they share it, so see the yellow and the red, and these other sensors share them too. So maybe I'll check one of the other sensors first. That's easier to get to. See if we got power going there before I try to move these probes around. And if we do, then I'll try these. I've never seen anybody tape these wiring diagrams together, but it's really nice. I don't know if most people don't know you can print out all the pages and just tape them together. But here we go. You gonna help us fix this? You gonna help Uncle Rob? You gonna help Uncle Rob fix it?
No.
No.
I can't broke stuff.
You broke stuff?
Yeah. Oh.
Point to the problem. Where's the problem on the map? The knock sensor's the problem? I don't think the knock sensor's the problem. Pick another one. Well, the fuel injector is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick another one.
And that one, that one. See?
Oh, it's the other fuel injector?
Yeah. That one, that one too.
All four?
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
I didn't know that.
What else is the problem? Come on, I already looked at those.
That? The pipes?
It's not, well, yeah, it could be a pipe.
The red one.
The red pipe?
Yeah.
That's actually what we were going for over here.
Yeah. Let's take the green pipe.
The green pipe?
Let's take. See, down goes. With that one and that one. See?
Any other thing we should pick?
Yeah. I think that's all of it.
You think that's all of it? Okay, thank you. Okay guys, so the probes weren't in all the way. I pushed them in farther and it started making contact. So we got our cam and crank signals. I'm gonna post this online, see if anybody has a known good that they can send me. But see, we have no injector pulse at all. The yellow trace is the injector and it never drops down there when I'm cranking, but it never fires an injector. So hopefully somebody can find a known good for me or something. Guess we'll continue this later. We had this one cam sensor and everybody was telling me it was upside down. Right here, this red trace, which was over here on the driver's side bank. So then we didn't have any injector pulse, and everybody was saying the cam sensors control injector pulse. So we unplugged the cam sensor. Now watch. Go ahead, try to start it. Look at that. Now it's running, we have injector pulse.
It started to climb an RPM, I shut it off.
Yeah. But now we have injector pulse. Oh, you know what? When it started running, our other cam sensor changed. But at least it starts. It's progress. See you guys later. I got a known good here from a person that works at Subaru. At least he said it's a known good, even though this has camshaft position sensors and this engine doesn't. But we got this here. This is the capture I took while it was running, and you can see how close this lines up to the single notch on that. So I came over here to the single notch, laid down a piece of paper, and lined this up pretty good, and we are pretty close to that spot. Let's see if the other one lines up. So at the double, we'd pretty much be
Injector connect
the double, we'd pretty much be lined up.
injector off.
So let's go down this a little bit. Let's see, so yeah, I don't know if that would line up completely perfect, but it's pretty close. And so is that one. So I'm gonna assume that our right hand bank is dead on. Now the question is our left hand bank, is it the sensor that's the issue? Or what? Because this looks like this should be opposite, like what we were seeing. But these notches look like they line up almost every time. So Guess we'll do some more testing. So we came up with on why it doesn't start with that cam sensor plugging in. So I put a cursor here to here for 720 degrees. 656.48 milliseconds. There you go. And then we did a measurement from here to here, and we got 79 milliseconds. And when we took 656 milliseconds divided by 720 and got like 0.9. And then we used the 0.9 times 79, and we found out that the intake camshaft on the driver's side is off by 36 degrees. Because we took that number and then divided it by 2. Hopefully the math is right. I'm sure somebody can comment and correct me, because I don't do this a lot. But that's where we're at for now.